Well, welcome to another episode of Idle Stand Nation. We are back. There's been a lot of comebacks.
Way too much.
Almost, yeah. I would say, yeah, too much. It was really difficult trying to keep up with the week, but
Right?
we somehow managed to pull it off.
There was so many like international comebacks or even redos for songs too.
Yeah, Japanese version releases, English version releases. So
Right.
it was pretty crazy for us, but we held through. We're
What?
still here.
We had 20-some songs to choose from, and we cut it down to 5.
Yeah, it was a bloodbath.
It was a bloodbath.
It absolutely was. So you guys didn't see it, but we were doing a lot of fighting off camera. No, we weren't. I'm just exaggerating here. But oh man,
You never know.
So Nick, I know you've been dying to talk about this all week. So go ahead and bring us in.
So the first one for this week is one very, very near and dear to my heart. It's Dreamcatcher with their comeback Boca. Obviously, as you can expect from a title called Boca, it is very Latin infused. And originally, actually, when I heard the title was called Boca, I was worried that Dreamcatcher was not gonna implement a rock style.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because if you don't know, Boca means mouth.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know Spanish, so.
Yep.
Oh.
Boca means mouth. That's why when they do that signature pose inside of the chorus, it looks like a mouth. But anyway, so I was worried that they weren't going to go very rock heavy. But man, did that switch up in the chorus.
Yeah.
That was nuts. The last thing I was expecting was trop rock.
So I'm not familiar with trop rock. So apparently that's a thing.
So trop rock is a fusion of a couple different styles. Trop rock is a fusion of deep Latin.
Right.
So like Latin American music. It's a fusion of a little bit of tropical house and a fusion of general rock style and American rock.
Right.
Okay. So when for trop rock, when they're pulling from American rock genres, which American rock genres, subgenres are they typically pulling from? Are they pulling more from like alternative, heavy metal, like grunge, or
Usually they
pop rock?
Usually when they're pulling from with trop rock, it's usually pop rock, or
Okay.
they're mainly what they're trying to stay away from is metal.
Okay,
Right.
yeah, because metal would be a bit too thrashy.
Yeah,
I would say
anything
with
that's like
those other
overly
genres.
thrashy, hard rock, or anything that is overly aggressive is not
Right.
going to work very well with the kind of tropical Latin infusion.
Okay. Okay.
Usually they're trying to run with pop rock, alternative. A big one is indie rock.
Yep. Okay. Indie rock, punk rock, would that work too?
Punk rock could work as long as it's not too thrashy.
I kind of
Okay.
felt like it was a little bit more J-rock, which
For this one, I mean, which makes sense for Dreamcatcher.
yeah.
It's kind of they do pull a lot of J rock as well as American alternative. And in their B tracks, we've also seen them pull from heavy metal too, heavy metal and ska.
Yeah,
So-
in their beat tracks, especially for the last album, we've seen them pull
Oh, the last
from
album
every
was
genre
really
under
different.
the sun.
Yeah, that
Um,
was the most varied album they've had to date.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
So, but a lot of this is actually pulled definitely from American pop rock.
Right.
Okay.
There is some Japanese rock elements, which, I mean, rock in general has an overlap.
Right,
J-rock
right.
and American rock have overlaps, right? They're all inside of that
Yeah.
kind of rock genre.
Mm-hmm.
A big thing for that makes J-rock is its unique mixing.
So, damn, you took my top spot for that.
I do that a lot.
Which is something
yeah.
I kind of heard near, I want to say the ending or through the chorus. I could be wrong.
Yeah, so where he was talking about with the when the rock comes in, it was definitely a lot of J rock style mixing, but the actual chords that they used was very much more so along the lines of like American pop rock.
Yeah, so American rock is far more restricted in terms of chords than J-rock is.
Right.
But in general, the chords are very, very American. Very what you would hear.
And then J-rock mixing also does they blend in the chords a lot more with the way they mix it. So
yeah, that's really useful because when you're transitioning from that like kind of build in that slow pre-chorus to that like very heavy rock, if you mix the chords like in a way so that it's not as impactful, it feels like much more of a better transition.
Right.
Okay.
So like it's not like the transition hits you like a train and then just leaves, you know?
Right.
That's why they went into the second rap verse as well, and they gave it a pause break in the middle. Because if they just went into that, like I said, it would feel like it hit you like a train.
Right.
Okay.
So they had to play really well with transitions here. And I think they did an amazing job.
Right.
Thank you for doing a great job of bringing it back into the discussion about the actual song itself too, by the way. I'm pretty sure the listeners were like, when are they going to actually start talking about the song?
I got you.
So.
And then I did not expect 2 rap verses as well.
Yeah, where the 2 rap verses, normally you'd be expecting just one, right? And it would kind of either be near the bridge or function as a bridge.
Yeah,
even.
especially after how impactful the first verse was, where they played around with the beat, with the kick drum. You know, when they played around with all that, I was like, okay, you know, Dami's time to shine. And then once that passed, I was like, okay, now we're music pretty much all the rest of the way through. Also, I think they're doing the same tactic here as Oh My Girl did for Nonstop, where you know how they highlighted Sungi and Mimi.
Yeah.
Guyan has always been the usually like the I don't want to say like the most unpopular, but like the least known, I guess. Kind of always been relegated to like whatever kind of lines.
Like, oh, by the way, she's here.
Yeah, kind of in that neighborhood. And then in Scream, she had a rap verse, and everyone loved that, and I'm not surprised to see it's back. But also, if you notice, everyone else had dark hair, like really dark hair. I mean, Dami had dyed blue tips, I want to say, or like full blue hair.
Yeah, because for the longest time, they always had some kind of reddish shade for the way their hair were dyed.
And then Sejeong has, I think, blue tips, and everyone else is pretty much natural except Guyan, who's like bright pink hair.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, was it? That's why I was confused. Like, natural hair. Am I forgetting someone?
Yeah, you're forgetting Guyan. Guyan has bright pink hair. And I think that's a similar tactic. It's used a lot by companies we saw Oh My Girl.
I should have probably reworded that. Like, I thought I was imagining pink hair for a sec. Since you said natural hair, I was like, am I going crazy for a sec?
Yeah.
Because I said I could have sworn I saw non-natural hair colors in the music video.
Yeah. So, and that's like I talked about. That's a tactic we saw from Oh My Girl when they were trying to promote Mimi and Sungi a lot more. Which is also nice to see. She also got a lot of the highlight in this song as well, which again plays into that as well.
And I really appreciate when companies do that. When they try to balance out that member popularity.
Yeah, because
rather than just ride the wave on that one, right?
That it's such a hard thing to manage, and it's usually not a priority. Like, obviously producing the good comebacks, making sure everybody's vocals are stable, everybody's rap is stable, blah blah blah, is always the priority. So kind of member popularity balances are usually relegated to like kind of like last thought type of deals.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you can't sacrifice the overall quality. You still have to have that overall a well put together end product.
I mean, it does very much cause an imbalance when they do kind of focus on one member in popularity.
Yeah, and I mean, we've also seen that before in K-pop, where the company decides to focus on one member for a comeback, and like solely put like almost 100% into that member, and then it seems like, you know, X member and friends.
And that's why you have entire channels who are dedicated to putting out content of line distribution for song releases, where they tell you like this member got 80% of the lines of the song.
Right.
Like there's entire channels that are built around that. So
yeah. And I mean so, but I really like that. I mean, I also like it. You know, Guyan is also my bias. So to be fair, I'm kind of biased in that. But anyway, but I'm kind of with you guys. I also like that, you know. I also really like how they tied together Scream into this.
Right.
Okay.
I feel like this week was also a continuation, because if you notice in the beginning it says something part 2 dystopia, I think it was called.
Yeah, dystopia part 2.
Yeah, so I feel like this week there were a couple of songs that were just continuations and just felt like it. Right.
I remember on one of their appearances on Fact and Star, like maybe at the end of last year, they did talk about like, you know, eventually they're going to move on from their concept that they had going on at the time, and then with dystopia, like that is their current concept that we saw with Scream, and then so this is what they got going on for their theme for this set of releases. Right. So however long it's gonna last.
I mean, it's a nice kind of difference from other artists out there that at least that we've talked about, you know, because we don't talk about too many like rock K-pop artists. So it's a nice difference. And and then especially with them kind of, instead of going with the whole like dreamy part, they were going with more of a nightmarish part, the dystopia part for their concept.
Right on. Anything with the music video, Aura?
I mean, now that I know that Boca means mouth, I find more things a little bit more interesting, other than the whole this part of the dance. But like, if you notice that like the statues, like their mouths are covered, so knowing how it's called, the song means mouth, it brings a little bit more meaning, how like mouths can easily be silenced, and or how you want to speak up against things, but you know, like you can't. And sometimes that's the feeling you feel during nightmares. Sometimes you want to call out, sometimes you want to scream during nightmares, or when you're having problems, but you just can't. And you can very much see that in the imagery through the nightmares. And I think it's such an interesting nuance for these kinds of music videos. And I'm not saying that this is a completely dark music video, but there are some darker elements, and which I find extremely interesting, especially for this time of year, because you'd see it in like when it's starting to get colder for fall or winter or something like that. It's still summer, so you kind of expect like more energetic or happier songs, but that's not the deal with this.
It's a contrast to what everyone else is putting out.
Exactly.
You said earlier.
Exactly, and it's a nice change of pace.
Okay. So, all right. Well, gentlemen, are we ready to move it on?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Okay. So, Gugudan Sejeong, she has another solo release. This is, I think. Oh, geez. If you're not even including her OST work. Like, she's already got a lot, actually. So I'm not even bothered trying to name off a number of how many she's had. But she is back with Whale. Now, this song was a very pleasant surprise for me. We don't get a lot of kind of indie style songs. And so if you're not familiar with indie, think of Bullfor, like 2017's Bullfor especially. You're like the epitome of what the indie music scene was like.
Right.
So, and which, by the way, unrelated, did you guys know that Bullfor is still considered an indie artist?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have an indie style.
It's still an indie style, yes, but they already have like that very pop, idol kind of feel, and with the way the promotions work.
Yeah.
I only say that because she recently appeared in an episode of Running Man, and she was introduced as a indie artist. And
Okay.
so, anyways, sidebar over. Here with Sejeong, well, we do have quite a bit of an indie style feel here with the song. Indie pop, with indie pop, I guess. And for indie itself, it also has a lot of you'll often hear soft rock and indie kind of spoken as like kind of being the same because they have a lot of overlap, primarily with their instrumentation. So Nick, take it away.
Man, the first group that I thought of when I heard the song that could sing the song and it would be pretty similar was ONEUS.
Really?
Yes.
This is right up ONEUS style in terms of songs, which makes sense as to why I love this song.
And ONEUS does indie very well.
I really like this song, especially the chorus when they use those modulated voices to kind of I don't know how to put it, to kind of add like as an instrument rather than as like a background vocal.
Yep.
It also really complements Sejeong's vocals.
Yeah, because she's got like a certain airiness to her voice, but it's not wispy. Like, she still has quite a bit of weight.
It's a much more ethereal sound to her voice. It's inside of the voice itself. It's very well supported, and so that's really nice to hear, especially a well supported airy voice. Because a lot of the time, you hear a voice that's kind of airy, and it usually doesn't have a ton of support under it.
Yep.
But when she gets deep down into her chest voice, you can hear it. That airiness kind of goes away a little bit, and she brings a lot more support in.
Yeah, and the musical accompaniment carries with it. It's got quite a bit of momentum, right, to kind of help drive the song forward, without overpowering her vocals. Like they accompany each other. They complement each other very well. I really enjoyed that. God, for me, it really kind of helped immerse me into the song. Again, it's just you guys know, like, I'm one of those people that I want to get pulled into a song. I want to get immersed into it. I want to experience it, like, sights, feels, sounds, everything. And it was one of those songs where the analytical side of my brain was just turned off, and it's like, just go with it.
Right.
So
I felt the same for this song, but for me, because I know it was a few sentences back, but how Nick says that he can see ONEUS singing it, I can actually see there's this French artist that I can actually think of that can actually sing this song myself. His name is Nom Canyon, I think it was. He sang like this song for a French CG animation show called Code Lyoko, and I felt like this song had very similar instrumentals to it.
Okay.
So.
You said it was for like a animation.
Yeah.
Like is it like a kid show?
Yeah, a 3D kid show, 3D animation kid show. It was. Yeah.
Now that you say that, it does with some modifications, you could kind of turn this song into a Disney-esque type of song.
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard to turn this song Disney. This song is really, in general, really raw, and there's not a whole lot going on. which means, you know, a couple of things here and there, and you could pretty much turn the song generally what genre you want.
Right.
It's a really versatile song in general.
Yeah, because you could take it further into the rock scene, or you could take it more into further pop.
Yeah. And I mean, it wouldn't even be hard to turn this into a rap song.
It wouldn't even be hard to turn this into like a tropical house song.
Mm-mm. I mean, it's already halfway to tropical house with that.
Yep.
With that synthesizer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If Sejeong ever hears us talking about this, she needs to do remixes of this song in different styles.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, give it, you know, 1 or 2 months on YouTube. There's tons of remixes of the song.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility.
Right. Imagine if Day 6 did, like, their own version of this song.
That would be interesting. And especially since, like we had our established before, like, you know, soft rock elements, and then Day 6, like, they can do. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Also, Nick, earlier when you were talking about Akmu being able to perform this, I guess it's because of the title, kind of help draw that connection as well.
I guess so, yeah.
Jog that memory.
Yeah, because
Akmu has
they have a song called Whale.
Yeah.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Yeah, it was on their How Can I Have the Heartbreak album.
Yep.
Oh, the one with the really long title.
The long title.
Yeah. So,
Nick's never gonna live that down. Whenever we talk about Akmu,
it's not my fault. I trusted Jihoon.
You never trust Jihoon. You should never trust Jihoon.
That was your first mistake.
But yeah, I really like this. I also really like the bridge in this song. Because there didn't really... Bridges normally slow down a song and then kind of kill that momentum, and then they bring it back.
Yep. Right.
They didn't do that here. They just kind of kept with the momentum and went with the flow.
Yep. Right.
And then when they realized when they realized they could kind of break it a little bit, they put a pause after that really high note, and then brought it back into the chorus.
And you know, I've always like enjoyed a very well executed pause after a high note. Like,
oh yeah,
it really does kind of feel like, jeez, you know, like, I guess the best example I could use, like, you know, when you're doing like a full burn sprint and then you just stop and then you catch your breath. That's what I felt like. You're catching your breath at that moment you're catching your breath.
And a great usage of that, and this is what they pulled it from, is ballads.
Oh yeah,
ballads are amazing at doing that. You know, if there's a high note, adding pause to that high note is a really great utility to make that high note more impactful,
especially towards the climax of the song.
Oh yeah,
or at the climax. Yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah. Oh god, we could go on forever about that. So I'm gonna just.
I mean, this song is really good.
Let's move on to
like the color, especially like the color choices too. It was really. I don't want to say passive. I want to say maybe
it was kind of pastel.
Yeah,
there's a lot of pastels.
Pastels. It was a calming feeling. It was definitely used to create a calming feeling, and it was not used really nicely to convey her feelings and whatever for the song. So they did really well in that.
Yeah, typically when you see a lot of like these kind of unsaturated, desaturated color palettes like this, it's more for like when you do like city pop or kind of retro style, 80s retro style. I think it was well executed here. So you were about to say, Nick?
I was just gonna say that I also noticed in quite a few shots there was a film over the screen. There was like a kind of reddish overlay.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. But I noticed also that went away whenever they were in a kind of darker environment. It's like when she was inside with the lights turned off.
Yeah, they went with a slightly more yellowish tone when they were inside. To help kind of enhance the blues.
Yeah, because that kind of goes into the biology of how the eyes work. So it's kind of like when you think of like night vision, they use green. Yeah. So, you guys got anything else for the song or the video?
No.
I think I'm good to move
Hey,
on.
Aura, why don't you go ahead and bring us in?
All right. So the next artist we have is DONGKIZ with the song "Beautiful." I have no real history behind this song, so Nick is probably going to have to be the one to introduce the rest of it.
But hey, I just wanted to say Aura was able to pronounce it this time.
DONGKIZ?
Oh, that and the title too.
Yeah,
Beautiful?
Yeah, I mean your pronunciation sometimes is a little weird.
You're talking
What?
about the last couple of weeks where we gave him like the hard stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about. It was just his turn to take it. It's not our fault.
Mm-hmm. Right. So when we have like five artists, we go through 4 of them. You have me introduce the last one, and which is the most difficult one. Yeah, right.
I'm just talking about it's your turn. You know, we did our fair share.
Yeah, we never do that to you.
So yeah, a little background on DONGKIZ. DONGKIZ is it's a 5-member boy group under Dongkyo and Entertainment. Let's see, they debuted. I remember they debuted April 24th of last year.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah,
they're still
just over
pretty
the-
young as a group.
Yeah, they're
They're over-
just outside of their like
1 year.
rookie kind of year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So-
Yeah, and if for myself too, like whenever I find out, like when I think of rookie group, I don't think of just like how long they've been out, but also how many releases. And this is their 3rd release now, or 4th.
Well, 4th if you count. I think it's their 4th if you count their pre-debut
Mm-hmm.
release.
I count it.
It's their 3rd single album.
Yeah. So like now that they have like 3 single albums out, I could definitely say like, or more comfortably say like, yeah, they're beyond their rookie years now because they've had a decent amount of releases.
Yep.
And they've been out for a little over a year. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, and maybe not so much in sales wise, but I'd say that these guys are doing pretty well. In terms of like the skill and talent that they're demonstrating.
I like to think so. Even like this is a progression you'd see for rookie artists that are going to be big later as they get kind of cemented into the market, grow fandom, stuff like that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Finding their fandoms, building their fandoms.
Yep.
Building their style.
Overall with this song, I'm really impressed. I liked it.
Yeah, I had no real complaints. Like, I thought it was competently put together, and especially when it comes to like smaller groups,
Right.
I kind of feel like I'm probably a bit more critical of the quality that's demonstrated. The quality of the vocals, quality of the dancing, the choreography, filmography, the mixing, all of that. Like, because I guess I kind of been traumatized already by enough of bad releases from like small companies. So
Right.
And see, it's funny because I'm the opposite. I get more critical of big companies and like larger groups because they have the funds and they have the resources and everything to produce a really, really, really good comeback. And if the comeback or song is bad, it's like they really messed up. Whereas like for small companies, it's like are you really gonna have the funds to go with $100,000 mixing project? Or are you really or are you gonna prefer like a $5,000 mixing project?
Right. Yeah. I mean, like it's understandable when the quality isn't there as compared to like a bigger company.
Mm-hmm.
And I can totally understand that. But for me, I guess I still have like my minimum acceptable quality standards. So
Although in this song, it didn't feel like it was from a small company.
no, this song I did not like. Yeah, like I said earlier, right? I had no complaints at all with the production quality. So
I mean, my only real problem is that the transitions were way too flashy for my taste. But that's just taste, It worked well with the song. Like this, like everything was really well produced. like the editors did an amazing job mixing the song, and then the video editors did an amazing job at cutting, doing all the camera. Same with the cameraman, they did an amazing job with the camera work. I did feel like that they went heavy into like the dark kind of feel for the song.
Yeah.
I did feel they did go a little bit too heavy in that aspect. But yeah. I think that the like costume designer, they did an amazing job, to be honest, and it was just too flashy for my taste.
I guess if there is one kind of complaint for me is it's really hard for them to stand out.
Mm-hmm. That's something that's really hard to do when you do have everyone like dressed in all dark colors and make those flashy transitions, because it is distractible.
Well, I mean, like for this group as a whole, like for this group to stand out,
that's where
with this release compared to.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, I mean, with everyone, because right now boy groups are really into this concept.
Mm-hmm.
You know, into the kind of almost like screaming, kind of chanty concept with really dark MVs. I mean, so like when I was watching it, I mean, I was like, yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, it was DONGKIZ, you know, whatever, but it feels like it could be another boy group.
Yeah. Because like I could think of, I could definitely see any other boy group do just as well for this song.
Mm-hmm. And I think that is a safe play by the company.
Mm-hmm.
Going with whatever is in right now.
Yeah.
Because obviously, you know, if they went, I don't know, Trot, for example.
Oh my god! Please no.
They go JYP.
If they went, you know, Trot, for example, right? They're appealing to a really niche audience. So if they appeal to a wider audience, they could grow their fan base a lot better. Although it won't be as consistent of a growth, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I would say, I guess the things that would help them stand out is like the subtle nuances. But the thing, that's kind of the problem there, right? Is it's subtle.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna notice until like unless you're actually like looking at it like the way we do, especially with the way we do. So
yeah, because not everybody's like an analytical like listener and watcher. So
yeah, because like you think of like, you know, Joe Average, they'll look through like the first 30 seconds, 40 seconds of this music video and just like seen this before.
This would be lit to work out to though.
Oh, absolutely.
Man, workout playlist. Here we go.
So, all right. Well, gosh, this next group, you guys ready to talk about?
Yeah.
The question is, are you ready to talk about them?
I'm never ready to talk about it. So this is ONEUS, To Be or Not to Be. And wow, I don't know, Nick, I want you to kick it off, man, because I don't even know where to begin.
Well, first, I know, yeah, it is hard to begin on this, isn't it? So, we start off with that very soft, rather, almost a delicate intro.
Yeah.
And then they bring the drums in, and they just kind of add to the drums. And the drums really act as a building for the song. You know, so as they're building with the drums, they bring those sub basses, those synths in, and then the song is just already like, by that point you're trying to realize the song has started. Yeah, because like it starts off kind of with, well, at least with the vocals, right? Kind of like a funk soul R&B. Kind of smooth delivery. It definitely starts off super delicate. Yeah. And then they bring the drums in, and you're like, okay, this could go trap. This could go. It could even still go like trap house. Yep. It could go a lot of places, and then they bring those sub bass and those synths in, and then you're like, okay, now I know where this is going. Right. Yeah, but then but then at some point, right, like after like a minute in or so. With just the way it changes up. Yeah, it becomes a little more marchy. It becomes a lot more marchy. Kind of
much more harder hitting even, right? So you have that it's a very definitive contrast to the delicacy of that opening. And
what's also cool is when they hit that chorus,
mm-hmm.
it's really subtle undertones, but they actually brought in a bit of Latin undertones, like Latin American undertones.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And man, that was the last thing I was expecting in this song. But what we've been seeing lately is a lot of groups have been incorporating Latin, mm-hmm. Latin or South American undertones in their
mm-hmm.
songs.
And to be honest, I find that really, like, how they're incorporating it has been really nice too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's not the same,
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, just throw in, tropical drums and call it a day, It's like, okay, you could do this way where they actually change the chord progressions a little bit to make it
mm-hmm.
a little more Latin, and they kind of threw in some Latin synths under and changed the instrumentation a little. But you could do something a lot more actually truly Latin, like Boca, right?
Right.
Yeah, because now that you've kind of expanded my knowledge with trop rock, right? Now going back to this song, it's really interesting how they stop short of trop rock.
One single guitar and it's trop rock.
Yeah,
one single guitar and it's trop rock.
Like, you got a guitar in here,
mm-hmm.
but they're almost there, right? But they just stop short, and it's cool.
The thing that's stopping them short is actually, so the guitar, right? It's palm muted. So what that means, if you don't play guitar, is you put the bottom part of your palm
mm-hmm.
on the strings as you're playing, and so that way it mutes the strings. It acts as a mute. Because, on a guitar, you can't just throw on a mute whenever you want. So people palm mute. It's used a lot in heavy metal.
It's used a lot in heavy metal. It's used a lot in, especially on acoustic guitars too.
Yep. It was also used in Dreamcatcher Scream. There's a palm muted guitar in there too.
I did not know that's what it was called.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a palm mute.
Yep.
So they have a palm muted guitar in there, and they showcase it in this song. They showcase it.
They use it very well.
Yeah, it's right at the chorus part too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And had they put in those Latin undertones right there, it's full trop rock. I mean, it's a little more thrashy trop rock, but it is trop rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I like how the momentum in the song, it kind of just swings around.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of swings back and forth with the song.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I really do. This song really grabbed me from the get-go, because, like, going back to, we were talking about that delicate opening.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really long build-up. Like, it's a 50
or
even
minute
a full
or
minute.
something like that.
A full minute, yeah. And normally, or I should say, that is often very hard to execute. For myself, a lot of songs I get bored and have to, like, kind of sit there and trudge through that minute to get to the actual song.
Yeah, often that's just like a no-go, because I mean, normally your songs are 3-4 minutes, and you don't want to take up 33 to 25% of the song just with intro.
I did it again. Ow.
This guy,
he's trying to say he hit his funny bone, but we all know he doesn't have a funny bone.
he doesn't have one.
Ow. I think that hurt my feelings more than my funny bone. Ow.
Now we really know he's lying, because he doesn't have feelings.
True. The feelings got beat out of him in the Han Dynasty.
Oh man.
That's a roast session.
Yep. It took us about 38
you
minutes
didn't have
to
to do that twice, okay? You don't have to do that twice in one episode, okay?
But it's so necessary.
So 38 minutes and we finally got our old joke in, so it's great.
Although at this point it'll probably be 20 some odd minutes in.
Yeah. So back to the song. You were saying, like, with that slow build up.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say, I guess one of the things that really keeps that from getting boring, one is that you got their vocals, right? It's a constant delivery of their vocals to keep you anchored to the song.
Definitely.
But then, like as you're saying, right, they slowly add in the beat.
Mm-hmm.
the instrumentation starts to pick up a bit, and it picks up more and more progressively. Yeah, very well executed. I loved it. So.
Yep. The only thing that I don't know why it does, but the only thing that I really don't like is the way they say "to be" or "not to be" in the song.
Oh, is it because like, I guess is it because like you're more familiar with hearing it said in that Shakespearean way, and because it's not really said that way, that it creates that.
I think it's more of the rhythm that they choose. The did it da 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 da.
You know, I actually enjoyed that though,
because
for myself.
I mean, it's what it is. I guess it's for me. It's too quick of a move to a syncopated rhythm. Syncopated is offbeat for people that don't know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, syncopated just means offbeat. It's usually used in like rap. It's a great pioneer of syncopated rhythm. Anyway, so I think it's just too quick of a move for my taste. Yeah, it just came on in my ears. Yeah, so I think it's just too quick of a move to a syncopated rhythm for my taste. Yeah, I remember one thing: the ending scene. You were talking about a June.
Yeah.
where they all had all the people around them with guns pointing at them, and Jihoon went on like a little mini rant in our chat, talking about how that is such a bad strategy.
Like you don't do that.
No, that's how you like shoot the teammates.
Yeah, that's how you get friendly fire. So, yeah, but you know, I just know that was just something that like folks like myself would notice on. So like I wasn't gonna harp on it because like most of the general audience they wouldn't notice that kind of thing. So.
Oh no, I watched it after you said it, and I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense.
It's used to create dramatic effect.
Exactly.
For in the film industry, because you actually see that quite a bit in the like for when people are in that situation.
Yep, they're surrounded. It's the whole visualization of being cornered. That's why like I wasn't gonna harp on it for the episode because it's a the music video itself is more illusory versus being more literal with their depictions. Everything throughout the music videos are illusions and not this is like a hard reality of or trying to tell like a story that like everything is supposed to make full sense like in a real world environment. So.
I mean, so similar to this is very similar to what we said about the Boca, how it for the imagery, how it feels like a continuation of the previous MV, which was Come Back Home. There were very much Western undertones and whatever, but at the same time, it also felt different. Because in Come Back Home, it very much felt like they were the ones fighting the monsters. Very much felt like they were the ones that were in the past battling. With this one, it was very much more of they've become the monsters. They've become eternalized as monsters.
And now they're facing persecution.
Exactly, because they're now in a modern world where they're out of place, out of time. And I think that matches the whole title "To Be or Not to Be" very well, is because they can't they're trying to fit in, but they can't assimilate because they're out of place in time. And
it's also kind of like hinted at towards that scene that we just talked about where they're surrounded. Those guys are all dressed in white. The guys here, members of ONEUS, they're all dressed in black. So, yep.
And it very much shows like, because in the beginning they're all in white, and now that they've flipped into black, and it also that's also when the song kind of transitions from that like lighter opening of the song to the whole more kind of rock song, where everything's darker, more powerful, more.
Right.
I have no
more in your face.
No
It's
real
more powerful.
words.
It's more raw.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's more raw
exactly.
emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would say, like, I guess the only kind of minor gripe I have about this music video itself is the black and white costumes.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause we just see that a lot.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, that was the first thing I thought of when I saw that. It's just like, well, first thing I thought of about the costumes when I saw them dressed in all black or all white at those scenes. Because at the beginning, they're dressed in both black and white in that more European style,
Right.
dress. So it's just like I don't know. I guess I'm kind of getting burnt out on that whole everyone's dressed in all black or everyone's dressed in all white.
Right.
Right. Great time for us to go into winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to become a theme.
I know, right?
I mean, I still think this would, if they did this one combined with their previous music video, if they made it into a movie or a drama series, I think it'd be really good. I know I talked about this with one of the commenters, or I mentioned this to one of the commenters. If it can't be a movie, make it into like a little drama or web series with the members.
Yeah, because I mean, you already just said it earlier too. Like there is that kind of continuity with the story, or potential for a continuity of the story. Because like now they're the ones who became monsters, and now they're being persecuted. So it really would make for a very interesting drama series.
Yeah, I also agree.
So company, I believe that the commenter said that the company was RBW. Hire us so we can make the script, work with the boys.
Yep.
We got you. We got you.
Yep. All right. Jeez.
I don't think
you guys think we have enough time.
I don't think so. All
right. Cool. Well then, let's go to our pick of the week. Right. So, for myself, I don't think that this will be a surprise to anyone. I think we already know that it's going to be ONEUS.
Okay.
For myself, so.
All right, well, I guess I'll go next because everyone knows what I'm picking already. Yeah, for me, it's Dreamcatcher.
Oh, weird. I never would have thought that.
Yeah, that's definitely my MV of the year.
All right.
I'm kind of curious what you guys think I'm going to pick. Because when we've had 20 songs, I'm kind of really curious.
It's probably one of the ones that we cut.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I had to guess, either Cheetah or Jesse.
No. So I'm actually stuck between two.
All right, what you got?
So for message-wise, is Peak Boy with
Peak
Diet.
Boy, yeah.
Because I actually like the message of the song. How you don't have to diet, especially since like Korean society, not just Korean society, but to most people in general, dieting is like what you do if you want to look better. And I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people struggle with that. And the message of you don't have to diet to look beautiful. I actually really like that message of the song. But my other one would actually be BTS's Dynamite.
Well, it's got that disco feel, that old retro disco feel. It's probably nostalgic for
it probably brings back a bunch of nostalgia.
Yep.
Okay, just because I like the disco part does not mean I'm old. Okay.
Well, I mean, you do go back to the Han Dynasty.
Okay,
so.
dude.
Let's just move it on.
All right.
Moving on.
So,
I have nothing to say.
Let's kick off the quick shots with MCND. We didn't get to talking about it. No. I think I have put in a bit too many nods in there, but
one too many nods.
One too many. That's fine. So it's a real catchy song. Not what it kind of went more poppy, catchy than I thought they would, but not a bad song. Worth checking out. So, on to you, Nick.
All right. So, for me, Palo Alto, Jerd, Reddy, and Subi, all Highlight Record artists, released a song called Kid Rock. It's a really, really good song. If you know me, I am a big fan of Subi, so of course I love this song. And but I really like the song. I really like the way they flow into each other, as well as the transitions. Definitely kind of R&B, hip hop vibe. So if that's what you're looking for, make sure you go check that out as well. On to other news. Man.
Oh man, side corner.
I don't want to talk about this. All right. So if you have not been following a bunch of news lately, if you remember a while back, we talked about a group, ONEUS. We talked about both of their comebacks, or both of their debut and their comeback, as well as adding members to the group. Well, ONEUS is officially disbanded. 7 out of the 8 members have terminated their contracts with the company. There's a big whole fiasco. I'm not really going to get into it. Read the articles if you want to read them. And then you can kind of see where you stand on that.
Right.
But generally, the overall thing is ONEUS has disbanded. But we hope definitely to see that more of them more of the actual artists in the future.
Yep.
I know I do. So
Right.
we wish them the best luck.
As always.
Throw it to Aura to continue the sad news.
Yeah, so as most of you also know, after Piston, I keep on calling them Piston. I've been calling them Piston for the longest time. But Piston, how everyone knows that after they disbanded, a few of them, some of the members got back together and created Hinapia. Now, in more bad news, they've also disbanded again due to the company's financial issues. The contracts have been terminated. So they, again, are free artists, free agents, however you want to call it. Really unfortunate. We do wish the members the best of luck, and we do hope to hear from these artists again soon. They've worked hard, and some of them have debuted twice already, so we do wish them the best of luck.
Yeah. Now, I guess I'll do some more uplifting news. Red Velvet's Wendy, if y'all remember, she got injured pretty badly, and well, now she's gonna be back semi-active again. So most recently we've seen her in Red Velvet's cover of Kwangboa's Atlantis Princess. So or I'm sorry, not Atlantis Princess, I can't remember which song, but it was one of the Kwangboa's hits from way back when, to help celebrate her 20th anniversary when she debuted. So back to you, Nick.
Alrighty. So, if you remember, Treasure had a debut, and apparently it was a smash hit. Treasure set the 2020 rookie group record for first week album sales.
Right.
And this is a shock to many, because this came after they already had 200,000 pre-orders. 200,000 stock pre-orders.
Wow.
But for the first week, it was released that they got 166,000 recorded cumulative sales for the first week, making their total well over 350,000.
Wow.
And that's insane. Their debut track hit #1 on iTunes Top Songs in 19 countries, or 19 different regions. So definitely they are killing the game with this song.
Right on. Congratulations, boys. Well deserved success. Hopefully, we'll see some more success out of them from here on out.
Yeah, definitely. Really excited to see what they come back with as well. All right. We have anything else we want to tack on?
Everyone stay safe. You know, a lot of things are still going on out there. Keep your masks on when you go out. Don't be in overcrowded places. Support your artists. We wish all the groups who we've talked about here, all the groups that we didn't get all the groups, soloists, duets, all the artists, the best of luck with their song releases. You know, there have been a lot of amazing releases that we just couldn't talk about. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. This has been Austin Nation. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Click that bell icon if you want to know when we upload in the future. We have a Discord. Make sure you go join that. We're crackheads there frequently.
You'll see
Twitter.
You'll see Ji-hoon complain about gun usage from time to time.
Yep, we have a Twitter. Make sure you go follow that as well. We post our videos and uploads there as well. We have a Patreon if you want to help support the channel. Make sure you go down there. Even if you can only give $1, everything helps. So that we can create better content for you all. Yeah, and with that, we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.